What's going on, Geminites? Gem Mint here. It's always a good day when we get another Berserk statue in the building. This is the 1/3 scale Guts by Prime 1 Studio. These boxes are a little banged up. I'm a little bit nervous that everything is going to be okay inside these boxes, but we're going to do the unboxing together and we'll see for ourselves. Before we get started, make sure to hit that subscribe button. You know, we are collecting all of the Prime 1 Berserk statues, and we're doing a giveaway for a Batman Killing Joke CGC 9.8 once we hit our next subscriber milestone, which is 110,000 subscribers. Stay tuned to the end of the video. I'll give you all the details on the giveaway, but for now, let's get them out the box. All right, guys, you know if Prime 1 had two boxes for quarter scale pieces, that the 1/3 scale was going to be the same. The art style's a little bit different on these boxes. The brand of sacrifice has more of an effect to it, like a blood effect. You have a picture of the statue on both sides, kind of very artistic looking, and different images on the other box. The boxes look really great. Brand of sacrifice on the top flap as well. But enough of the art. Let's see what the statue looks like. All right, so we have some advertisements. Skull Knight on horse. Definitely digging that piece. Man, on the back you have Shirky. She's okay. I'll probably get her too. We have another advertisement, the God Hand. We already have Femto and Zod. Slan and Ubik are coming. Another Shirky. And the instruction page with where all the pieces lie in the boxes. These are pretty helpful, actually. Now, the first box that we're going to look at here, it's only the base. So we'll take the lid off, and there you have it. One piece of tissue paper and the base. So it's really heavy, man. We'll put it on the desk and we'll take a look at it. I was really surprised with the type of material used for the top of the base. That's like a translucent resin, which does have a light up effect. But even those bodies, man, those skinned corpses that are laying in that pool of blood, that looks super creepy, very high detail. And I like how this base, it almost looks like a tower, right? You have like these spikes poking up, and then from the side here, you can see the brand of sacrifice. Again, has a very tower vibe to it. So if you remove the brand of sacrifice, that's where you're gonna find a battery pack for the light up feature here. It's a magnet and a little electronic peg here on the back. So you slide out the case and you can see that there is space for 4 C batteries in here. C 1.5 volts, so kind of thick batteries. After our little trip to the store, we'll plug them in, put the brand of sacrifice back on, and then bam, you can see that it's lit up. Now it looks like it's pulsating, right? It looks like that is the effect of the light, but actually that just seems to be happening when you're touching the base. Maybe the wire shortage. So I do like this hidden button in the back. That's helpful, and that'll turn it on and off. All right, box 2, here we go. This will have 2 layers. Let's take off the top layer first. And you can see we have the cape. Here's one of the arms that holds the sword. Crazy detail on this, man. Look, the blood splatter all over his arm. The armor on his shoulder looks great. The paint applications on the skin are awesome. And the wraps, man, the wraps have great detail. I like all those nicks and cuts in his arms. You know, Guts always fighting. Here's the other arm. Very similar paint applications and details sculpted in. This will be for over his head and behind his back. Then this is his left arm, his cannon arm. And I really like the detail that they sculpted into that metallic cannon. Look at the spring here. That looks great. And you have like the gear kind of mechanism that helps around his elbow. But look at all like the nicks and dings in the metal part. That looks great. So this hand will be used on the base if you have the switch out where his sword is behind his back and not into the base. Then you have little baby Puck. This is like the more joyful animated version that he switches back and forth to in the manga. And then here's more of his human form. So these guys are supposed to go on his shoulder. Optional. Little knife. I really like the detail, man. It looks like real leather. I think the sculpt looks great. The weathered paint applications look great. So a little accessory that will key into his body. There's 2 wraps for the swords. This is one of them. I'm just going to show one of them, but the detail is great. The texture is there. The paint's there. And then you have these little spikes that go all around the base as well, in between those bigger ones. Then we have the cape. I like it, man. It has a very nice material. I like that weather look at the bottom. I like how it's like draping. It's not a leather cape like you see with the Batman statues. And it has these two little wires that key into his body. All right, let's take off that layer, get to the bottom last layer where you have his body, his portraits. This is the first portrait. There's 4 here with the DX version. I think the hair is sculpted great. This is obviously post the eclipse. He has the brand. He's missing his eye. And this one just has more of a serious face. They actually come with 3 standalone holders for the portraits, so I think that's awesome. You can display the portraits next to the statue. The next portrait, very similar. He just looks like a little bit more stern, has a meaner look to him. You can see kind of like some cuts on his nose and everything, but very similar portrait. Now we have a little bit of a smirk. I like this one, very cocky, kind of looking in a different direction. And the brand of sacrifice on this one is bleeding a little bit, so you know them demons are out. And last one, this is a Berserk face, like an insane grin. Eyes are bugged out. This is my favorite portrait. This is the one that I'm going to display. Here goes the hand for his cannon hand. I think it looks great. I like that rust look to it. The details look awesome. So intricate. I like those fingers. Great looking hand. And then here's one of the swords. This is the clean sword. No blood stains on it, but you can see nicks in it, weathering to it. The big slab of iron, huge piece. You can see all those chings there. Get rid of that styrofoam. That was for when he's holding it over his back. This is the one that plugs into the base if you want to display it that way. I love the blood stains, different shades of red, some older, some newer. You got the same dings and weathering there. And I think this one looks great, man. The blood detail is awesome. This thing is longer than my forearm. And then you got Guts' body. This is kind of heavy, kind of hard to show, but I like all the detail, man. All of his equipment, the different fabrics and metals and armor. It all looks great. You have the pouches on his back, and I love the harness that holds his big sword, the Dragonslayer. You rarely get to see that because of his cape, so I think that looks awesome. Then the detail on the boots here. All right, guys, all the pieces are out of the box. We put Guts on the base. Let's go ahead and put some of these little pieces together so we can clear some space and get ready to assemble them. All right, so I wanted to do a close-up of the cape here. So underneath the collar, there's 2 wires that stick down like pegs. So you got to kind of move the brown strap a little bit to find the hole on his right shoulder, and the hole by his left shoulder is pretty easy to see. Now there is another hole behind that where Puck can go, but I just wanted to kind of show you where you key in the cape if you guys were trying to figure that out. Now getting his head in here is a little bit difficult. There's like a lot of fabric around the neck, but some wiggling around and you can get it together. All right, so a little bit tricky with the cape. I showed you guys up close where you're supposed to pin it in, and I don't know if I really still have the collar right, man, but we got the cape on him. Let's just get the hand in here. We'll get Puck here. We'll do a quick 360, and then we'll switch out to the other arm option. All right, man, there we go. The sword behind his back. That looks pretty dope, man. And the magnet is super strong in this right arm to support the weight of that sword. As you can see, it's not keyed into any part of the base. It's just hanging behind his back. And you can only really do that with that sword because, as you can see, this bloody sword has the felt tip on the end. So that's the one that's supposed to go into the base. The only thing that we have to put on now is Puck, which is got a hole to sit on his shoulder. Which seems almost impossible to do with his cape there and the cape plugged into those holes. That's Guts, man. I think he looks amazing. Huge piece. Let's get some measurements on him. Man, from the bottom of the base to the top of the sword, he's about 39 inches tall. The diameter of the base is about 19 inches, but he's going to stick out even farther with his sword back there. to be about 22 inches. So dang, huge 1/3 scale piece. You see I kind of got the cape frayed outward like that. I think that looks cool. Now let's jump into a quick review of this guy, man. So we showed the base up close. I love how it has like that Berserker armor vibe to it. It's got the same type of detail and the same kind of design as his armor does. I like the functionality of the LED light and how they had this kind of hidden button here. I kind of showed you guys before, but I like how it's kind of like this tower and you have all these spikes here. I mentioned when I was looking at the base by itself, man, so much detail into the dead bodies and that pool of blood. It's got that see-through look to it. These skinned enemies that you just see their muscles and tendons. Guts looks super imposing, man. You have so much detail in his costume. We can start at the bottom with his boots. Like I said, very similar to the armor of the base. You have these different layers, all these dings and nicks. Great coloring and weathering there. I like all the detail, even like the buckles on the bottom of his foot, going up to like the studs in the armor that covers his foot. Then you have the boot. It has a leather look to it. It looks great. It looks worn. You have even stitching along the sides. So a lot of detail packed into every little piece of this. Moving up to his armor covering his knees and his thighs. Again, great metallic look. You can see where it has kind of like that shinier look on the seam as it gets duller on the flat part. But you have all the nicks there. You could even see the different layers of fabric going up to like where his crotch area is and his belt. All these different laces and buckles. Great texture even on the little knife pouch. He has all these other pouches around his waist and everything. Very highly detailed. Going up to the chest plate, I like the mixed media aspect with the chains, especially on his back, like I showed you guys when we were doing the up close and personal on Guts. The cape kind of covers that up, but I do like the cape. I mean, he's known for being the Black Swordsman. He has this big black cloak that follows him, and I think it is a nice touch to give it fabric because, man, you guys remember the 1/4 scale. That cape is heavy and it ain't no joke. Love his metal left arm, his rocket firearm. I think the detail looks immaculate there. Everything from the metal to the fabric, going up to his skin texture, which is very well done. The paint applications are amazing. The little nicks in his arms and all the damage that he takes looks great. I think I kind of like the other sword switch out option better because I like the bloody sword and I like how it's in the forefront, because when I display him like this, you're not going to even see the sword behind him. So we'll probably pack up this arm and sword and just use the other switch out. Then you have the 4 portraits. I don't know that all of them were really necessary. I do really like the individual stands. I mean, I think that's what's going to keep me from boxing these up. I think you got to go with this Berserk face, man. The portrait that I have here with his sadistic look and his grin and his eye kind of got that crazy look in his eye. So that's the one that I think I'm going to keep here. I don't know that the other ones are really necessary to display, but I kind of feel obligated with having those little stands. Amazing piece. I'm interested to see what Prime 1 does with 1/3 scale Berserk. I wonder if they're going to do any more. I have a bunch of 1/4 scale pieces on pre-order, like Casca, like Void, Slan with Ubik. I still got to pre-order a Skull Knight. I'm really torn if I need both or if I just want to get the one not on the horse because it comes with the little bellet. I still got to order Shirki, and I hope to see some other ones like Sepulchre or Farnese, or even that new version of Guts, the 1/4 scale one with the Berserker armor. I'm definitely going to grab that as well. Let me know what you think about the 1/3 scale Guts in the comments below. Like I said, make sure you're subscribed to the channel because we are getting a ton more Berserk statues in. Plus, we're doing a giveaway for this Batman Killing Joke CGC 9.8. All you got to do is comment on this video and every video where we promoted this giveaway. Once we hit 110,000 subscribers, we're going to pick a random video where I promoted the giveaway and use a random YouTube comment generator to pick a worldwide winner. Don't go anywhere. Check out my other Berserk videos in the playlist to the right, my other statue reviews on the playlist below, and you guys stay minty fresh. Peace.